that 6-month preparation, I was like thinking to myself, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? The idea of coffee to me now has changed from before. I get to see a lot of connections form and ideas being created. So it's very magical. It's a very beautiful thing to witness. My name is Han, and I am the founder for Bad Artist Coffee.
Okay, so I want to ask, like, what were you doing previously? Because I know that you were a coffee roaster.
Yes. So after I graduate, I joined a startup company. Then I became a part-time barista because I didn't like my job at a startup business. Then that time thought I wanted to open a cafe. So then after that, working as a part-time barista made me realize, oh, actually, opening a cafe is quite tough. A lot of people have been telling me like, oh, it's very tough. I was quite young that time. I was 25. Then I looked for a career to invest in, and digital marketing became an option because digital marketing that time was like the future career, like a career that a lot of company is looking for. Then that's where I got into the tech startup. I got to become a performance marketer at this tech startup, where I acquired a lot of my digital marketing skills. Then I moved to Singapore for 2 years with the same startup. Then I left and joined another coffee startup in Singapore. Then MCO hit. That's when I came back to Malaysia and joined my dad with his business. Then I realized my dream of opening a cafe is still there after I got connected with a few coffee professionals while I was working with my dad. Mm-hmm. Then that's when I took a few SCA courses and start brewing at home and start roasting at home. Then starting Bad Artist Coffee became an outlet for me to feel my passion in coffee. So that's like my resume.
Okay. So meaning that Bad Artist Coffee was already there when you were running your home coffee business, like the coffee business?
Yes. I was very sure that I wanted to start a coffee business. Then the name came about before I even roast at home.
Okay, yeah. So you had that idea first?
Yes, I had the idea first. Then only I start roasting at home.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because when I was doing the SCA courses, I thought I could have used these courses and make it a part-time gig when I'm still working with my dad. And then I realized, I really want to start my own brand and a business to help more people to be able to learn how to brew at home and become better artists themselves. So that's why that's kind of like the origin story of Bad Artist Coffee.
Like how does the name come from? Because you also mentioned that previously you also worked as a part-time barista.
Yeah.
When did you start to have a passion for coffee, or like to started liking coffee?
Oh, okay. So 10 years ago, I didn't really particularly like coffee. I didn't know what I thought coffee was just coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time I liked the idea of being a barista. So I was curious as to like how it's like to make coffee. So that's why I went to become a part-time barista. And when I was becoming a part-time barista, I was toying with the idea of, oh, what if I can own a cafe? How would that be like for me? So then that became a dream of becoming a cafe owner. Then for the coffee part, it doesn't come until very recently, like a few years back. So after I left my tech startup job in Singapore, I got very interested in coffee. But at that time, I'm only a casual coffee drinker, just visiting a few specialty coffee shops, starting to buy some beans, getting to know the homebrewing kit to kickstart my homebrewing ritual per se. Then from that onwards, if the curiosity was there, then I got a job in a coffee startup. Then that job itself doesn't really tell me much about coffee. It's just a digital marketing job for a coffee company. So I didn't learn much that time about coffee. So I got more curious after I come back. Then only I start to like, oh, then that's where all the
Things happen.
things happen with coffee knowledge. I start to ask a lot of different cafe owners, going to different cafes, talking to baristas, with owners to understand more about coffee. Then the rabbit hole of coffee just opened up for me to jump into. Yeah, until now.
Okay, so for the tagline, how bad can it be?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, has it always been your approach to life? Or was there a moment that kind of shaped
Yes.
this mindset?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that tagline for bad artists, and I remember I wanted to tie an idea to bad artists. Then I was like thinking, oh, actually when I was brewing a cup of coffee, it wasn't great all the time. So then I kept reminding myself, oh, I just try again, just to see how bad can this whole thing be. Then I just keep trying, and then I keep going. Then it just became like a mantra, like a ritual for me. Because I was afraid of making mistakes when I was younger. Like I was very hard on myself. And that's why the idea of trying something new was not encouraged for me. Like I don't like to make a lot of mistakes. I want to make sure that I don't make mistakes, and make sure that I get enough credits for myself for not making enough mistakes. Yeah. But then as I progress, I realized, making mistakes is just part of learning, part of the process. Then the idea of how bad can it be came about. Because I also realized, through a lot of conversations, I realized a lot of people are like me. When I was younger, they are very afraid of making mistakes because they don't like to be wrong. So it's like then that also gave me a reminder that just try lah. If you didn't try, then how would you know how bad can you be in something? So we're not born to be right all the time. So then just try, and then we stand up, and then we learn, and then that's how we grow.
Yes, I totally agree with that, because I also feel like how bad can it be is really encouraging, for, because I'm also that kind of person. So really like motivates you to just take the first step, maybe just make the first move, rather than just sitting there and overthinking.
Not doing, yes. Because I'm an overthinker. I overthinking about a lot of things also. Then it end up for me to not even do it. Like the idea of starting a business used to be just an idea for me. because I overthink about the what ifs. Like, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? What if this and what if that? Then I end up just being an idea and just sitting around and just complaining about things that didn't happen. So then that's why it took me until now to actually do it. Like I think the overthinking part kind of slowed down my progress and my growth. So then with this tagline, with now, ever since I started Bad Artist, because of this, I get to try a lot of things, and I really push myself to learn beyond what I thought I couldn't do. Yeah.
Oh, when you mentioned that, I thought of I also saw something like you also participated in workshops and competitions.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can share a bit on that.
Yeah. So I'm not a competitive person. So when I started Bad Artist Coffee with the idea of how bad can it be, I started joining a lot of competition. So I was just I was just curious as to I didn't know brewing a cup of coffee has a competition. The time I didn't know why. I was like, why is there a competition? Because I thought brewing a cup of coffee is just for your own consumption, for you to drink at home and just get the coffee caffeine kick. That's it. Then I was curious and I started joining to see like, oh, how far can I get into it? Then that's how I learned that, oh, actually, every time I brew a cup of coffee, it tastes different. It's like, oh, today it tastes like this, then tomorrow it tastes like that. Then what does the best tasting coffee taste like? So I also never experienced having my coffee judged by a professional. So that's why I started joining. So the curiosity led me to that. Then the idea of competition has become an addiction for me in coffee. Not addiction, just more like a motivation for me to pursue more knowledge in coffee. So like one small competition led to a big one. Then the big competition gave me so much knowledge. Like I'm just absorbing all this knowledge from joining all this competition, and it's very rewarding. I think for me being in the coffee industry, yeah, I think so far joining all this competition has made me became more, I think, more curious, and also helped me learn a lot about brewing, and then also allow me to create a platform where I can also spread awareness on specialty coffee brewing as well. So I also realized by joining all this competition, I'm like putting myself out there, and then people start to notice me. That's where I realized like, oh, last time it's just about joining competition, learning about brewing and how it's being judged, to, oh, I'm representing a group of people who is like me, that, oh, I'm actually giving them some sort of motivation to try new things. So that's what I realized so far.
Knowledge, as in, because from all the sharings, like all the feedbacks, and also connection with people.
Yes, connection, collaboration, knowledge from my peers, everything. Yeah, I think coffee is not just a beverage now to me. It's like last time when I wanted to be a barista, that time coffee was just a tool for me to make for people. But now it changes the idea of coffee to me now has changed from before. Now it has evolved into this medium or this this thing that connects people to get more insights about something.
Something
yeah.
is where the story starts.
Yes, yes, it kickstarts a lot of things for me now. Yeah, that's why I feel with this space, I get to see a lot of connections formed and ideas being created, and old connections become stronger, or rekindle new connections, or rekindle old forgotten connections. So it's very magical. It's a very beautiful thing to witness, even from my time as a part-time barista to my time as a home brewer to now my time as a coffee shop owner or coffee roaster. So that transition helped me realize a lot of things through coffee.
Yeah, maybe we move backward a little bit
Yeah.
to talk about the how does the journey of you starting this cafe.
Okay. Even though it's just a few years, but the journey is quite long. I think when I started this brand, I didn't really. I actually I have a goal. I have a goal as to where I can bring this brand. So when I first started, I told myself I give myself 5 years. Like a 5-year plan. It's like very common in every single company. Sad to say, but that goal led me to now. Like I am very determined that okay, my first year I need to put myself out there, join a competition. Then my second year is to collaborate with people, go to events, and go to more offline, put myself out there to people to get to know me, get to know my brand, get to know the coffee. Then my third year is set up a space. Then my fourth year is to win the competition. I don't know. I don't know what would that other 2 year be, but it's definitely bringing the artist to another level. Like to get more people
Knowing the brand.
know the brand, and also I think the brand is more than just a brand. I think I want Bad Artist to be a place where people can come and get to know coffee and learn how to make coffee and get curious about coffee. So that's my goal after the next year, the following year. Yeah, I think the journey started so far was the first 2 years is just me learning to master the art of roasting and the art of brewing, and I have enjoyed that process, but it's not easy because I was roasting at my parents' home, and I actually and luckily my parents' home has a few available rooms for me to set up my roasting business. So all of us has grown up, my siblings and I, and then we moved out. So that's why there's a lot of empty rooms. So it's also another good excuse for me to keep coming back to see them also, right? Yeah, while also roasting. So I roast almost every week at the house there. Sometimes like till 1 or 2 in the morning, roasting, just trying to understand how it works. And the time when I was setting up the space, it was quite lonely. I think the journey was quite lonely. I didn't have anyone else with me. I tried to roast under a very stressful and also hot environment. So like that time the setup was very hacky. Like very simple tube to the window, and it's like the window's open, and then it's like really hot, humid, and on top of that, roasting also emits a lot of heat. So roasting is very tough that time, right? And tough and tiring, and I didn't get a lot of rest after roasting. So, but then the joy comes after when people taste my coffee, and they said it's good. Like, then you get customers to say give you good feedback. I think that's the motivation for me to keep going. Then, but my dream is still having a space and having a space to connect with more people and having workshops and stuff like that. So I'm glad that this space has formed to fulfill that kind of goal for me with Bad Artists. And moving from my parents' house to here is also quite bittersweet because you're moving from a place where you started and all the hardships. I mean, it's not that hard when you're enjoying it, but in that condition, it was quite tough for me to roast all my coffees. And then on top of that, doing everything on your own is tiring. And then now that with a team, everything seems to be a bit easier, but with new challenges. Yeah, so fast forward to now, I think the journey is still ongoing. It's not really the final destination yet. But there are new challenges here in this space where the scale of the business has increased, which is good, a good problem to have. But also, when there's scale, there needs to be a team to help you execute your task and to fulfill more demands. So that was also a different part of the challenge as a entrepreneur. Yeah, which I'm also learning, and I've been enjoying this journey so far. Yeah. So like parts of this space is something that I've never done before, like managing a brew bar, managing the operations, and also like hosting events and sharing sessions are all new to me. And so far, thankfully, the community has been very supportive, and the coffee industry here in Malaysia in general are very positive and very welcoming. So I'm very grateful for all the support I have gotten, and it really pushed me and motivates me to do more.
Do you have a very memorable encounters with people, or like maybe a memorable experience that you can think of right now that pop up in your mind right now?
Yeah, I think last year will be a memorable year because it was my first time joining the National Brewers Cup in Malaysia. So I remember that competition took me like 6 months to prepare. So just now I mentioned I wasn't a very competitive person, but it's the most competitive competition in coffee in Malaysia.
Okay.
So when I joined that competition without knowing how competitive it is. Yeah. So that then the preparation, throughout the whole preparation, from the sign up to the actual day of competing, has become something that I thought, I cannot imagine that I'm doing this now. That 6 month preparation, every time I was practicing, I was like thinking to myself, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Then how am I doing this? Like, wow, I actually did this. The whole 6 months is just the realization
like,
of,
how would I sign up for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, I shocked myself as to like, I'm actually doing this, and I did it. even though the result wasn't what I expected. But then reflecting back to that journey, I was like, wow, I can't believe I just did that, Yeah. I never thought in my life that I will join a coffee brewing competition.
That is this big?
This big, yeah.
Okay.
So that was the best memory I have, like going through the practice and learning about coffee, and also learning about myself through the competition, and then like learning about how I was able to pull this off was quite crazy lah. Yeah.
I think sometimes it's good that we don't know the full details of something.
Yeah.
That's how we have all the courage to take
Yes.
like certain action.
Yes. Even that period itself, like there's a period of time where like, I mean last year it was my first time joining. I was very determined to finish it, and this year was my second year joining, and really felt like giving up. That it didn't feel like the first time. So because this time is you give yourself some pressure
Some expectations as well.
and also a higher expectation that since this is your second time, you need to do well and you need to be ranked at the top. But then when you realize that you didn't got through the next stage, and then you will feel very disappointed because you set yourself a very high expectation. Then but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, actually I did much more better than I did last year, and it's a part of growth lah. Like I did improve from last year. I should be proud of my achievements. Even though I didn't make it again, then doesn't mean it's the end of the road for me. Then I'll just have to keep trying and be better. Hence the tagline, how bad can it be? I feel like this is a never-ending journey. It's just as cliche as this may sound, but yeah, it's true. Like I think it's never settled for anything, and if you do, it will only limit your capabilities to grow. I feel I'm still learning every day. Like every time I come here, I learn new things from my customers, about myself, from the team, like through this conversation, how to communicate, how to serve good drinks, how to be hospitable. Like all these are all like new skills I acquire every day, every time. Yeah, how to manage feedback, how to manage emotions at work. Wow, these are all part of growth.